Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says yo.
Greetings, Koopalings. Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. We're talking Kirby. We're talking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. We're talking about all of those things inside Switch folders, which is the most exciting thing ever if you can finally believe it after 5 long years of not having those things in folders. It's going to be some awesome stuff. We've got some news to talk about. We've got some rumors to talk about. How are you doing today, Garrett?
I'm doing good. You know what? I just figured out today, Rebecca.
What?
Did you know there's a holiday at the end of the month, March 31st? Do you know?
What's the holiday?
Well, it's a recognized like a federal holiday in the U.S. Cesar Chavez holiday. Ever heard of it? Like
no. Is this like the setup to a joke?
No. This is the first time I heard of it. And I had a meeting with the rest of my coworkers today. And then at the end of it, and it's like, hey, guys, remember, we have Cesar Chavez like holiday recognized. So you get Friday off. You get tomorrow
off of work for this?
I guess so. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll take the free holiday. That's actually next Thursday, but you're recognizing it tomorrow.
Oh, so you have off tomorrow for that holiday?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
I think your boss just wanted an extra day off.
You can look it up on my university website. It is a university holiday, no joke. And,
interesting.
Well, what I realized, Cesar Chavez, he's a very important civil rights activist and leader. Made one of the biggest farmers union in the U.S. And when Obama was in administration in 2014, that's what he recognized. He made that a holiday, apparently, and I just never knew about it.
Is this a California thing? Kyle in the chat says it's a California holiday. I've never heard of it. You never heard of it before now. It's a California
holiday, but Obama made it a federal holiday. Like it's like you can look it up.
Thank you, Obama.
Nationally recognized. Yeah, thank you. Apparently, it's recognized in Texas as well, but apparently, I graduated high school outside of that, before then. So yeah, no, it's just like super weird when they're like, oh yeah, you could take tomorrow off if you want to. I'm like,
if you want to, yes.
Sure, I'll take it. I'll take a full day.
Wow. I wish I had off tomorrow.
That was my big surprise. Yeah, I'll probably do. I still have other things to do, but I'll probably half day. I'll play some games, like just chill a little bit, But what about you? How are you doing?
I feel like this has been a long week. There are these guidance lessons that I've been having to teach each of the grades. I have to go into each of the classrooms, teach these lessons. They have to have 2 lessons each, and my principal wants them to be like all within like the span of like 2 weeks. So I have been like really packing those into the day. It's been taking up so much time. I could never be a teacher. Like my voice is so done. Like I do like 4 or 5 of them a day. My voice is so done. I would not be able to do that every day. I have like the worst classroom management skills. Like the kids by the end of the day, they're just all talking and it like drives me crazy. It gives me a headache.
Oh man. Yeah.
But I have been finding a little bit more time. I like to come home and I like to sleep, but I have been finding a little bit more time to play some games. So for the first time, which feels like in weeks, I'm going to be talking about what I've been playing. I tried out the Mario Kart DLC courses and I have been having a blast with them. I know that you only get like 8 courses to start off. They're sending them in waves. I was a little bit thrown off because I was expecting to be able to jump in and play the courses online in a tournament with like random people that they could just come in and join the tournament. That apparently didn't open up to be a thing until the 22nd, 2 days ago. So I haven't played online with people yet, but I've been playing it single player And I'm really liking it because almost all of these courses are brand new to me. Like I said last
Nice.
week, I only know Coconut Mall. The rest of them are like brand new to me. And I was honestly pleasantly surprised by a lot of them, especially the ones from Tour. I know a lot of people
Cool.
were complaining like, oh my gosh, there's so many from Tour. There's only 2 of them this time. But one of them, the Ninja Hideaway or whatever it's called,
Mhm.
it's so good. There's like so many different ways you can go. There's so many shortcuts, so many secrets. It is
Nice.
a whirlwind. It is so much fun. So I'm really excited. I think this will breathe a little bit more life into Mario Kart. You know, it'll motivate me to hop on and play when other people are playing.
Mhm.
And I think it's definitely something I'll revisit once they add each of the waves. I'm
Cool.
looking forward to that a lot. So I would
Sounds
definitely
good.
recommend it, especially if you already have the Switch Online expansion pack thing.
Yeah.
You
Just
already
try 'em
have it
out.
for free. You might as well try it. Ninja Hideaway is what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's unanimously like the best course is what everyone's saying.
Really. I
Yeah.
will definitely try them out. Probably this weekend sometime. Just
Hmm.
to go through the tracks because
Yeah.
it's pretty short.
It's worth it.
Just
Worth it for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I think I mentioned this last week. I can't remember. I've been playing this little indie called Monochrome Order. It's one of
Mhm.
who is it? I forget. It's not Konami. It's like Koei, I think. I
Is
don't
it
know.
Koei Tecmo?
It might be. I think so.
I'm
But
looking it
it's a
up.
little JRPG, and for these like side quests, you can do these judgments where you're talking to the townspeople and they have problems, and you're what's called like the arbiter, and
Mhm.
you listen to everybody's side, and then you have to like make the decision for them. Like you have the final say, and it kind of affects things in the world. Like if you decide to invest in like the item shop, you might get more items to buy. If you decide to
Mhm.
invest in the smith shop, you might get more like sword upgrades and things like that. You can decide like if somebody's guilty or innocent, and it just kind of like affects the world. And I think I'm almost at the
Cool.
end. The story's kind of interesting. There's some cool companions who can join you. um it's pretty easy. It's nothing too intense, but I'm enjoying it. I like playing these indies. I have like a whole lineup of indies that I'm trying to get through little by little. But the
What would you
big thing,
describe it as?
what
Like,
would I
is it
describe it?
strat?
It's definitely a JRPG.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I'm glad you said
yeah.
because I see the description here, strategy RPG. That's
Is
monochrome
I
order.
mean, I guess I would say it's a little bit strategy. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know. It's definitely just like turn-based combat. Like it has
Okay,
like your
cool.
standard like physical magic attacks.
Cool.
I think the only strategy involved is like the judgments that you make. Like you might
Cool.
need to decide. Like some of them are like very like moral decisions, and there's no like right or wrong. Like you just have to listen to everybody's side and decide for them, and you
That
don't really know what the
wow.
outcome is going to be until it happens, until you see what the effects are.
That's cool.
So
And it's
some of them are pretty
actually
intense.
developed by a very small studio called Kimco. I've
Oh,
never heard of
Kimco.
them.
I knew it was a K. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've really never heard a developer or publisher made by them. I'm even checking out their games. I don't really recognize
I
too
think this one's
much.
also a mobile, like I think it's a mobile game
It
too,
is
but
a
it's on a
mobile
Switch. It
game.
was like real cheap on Switch. I got it on
Okay.
sale
Yeah,
for a
they
couple
look
bucks.
like the very B or C tier JRPGs. So
Yeah, it's
interesting.
like I feel like hardly I've never really even heard anyone talk about this. It
Yeah.
was a one of the limited run games, and instead of getting the physical, I just got the digital on sale.
Cool.
Kimco, yes,
Sounds good.
yeah, but like it's not bad. Like I wouldn't say it's like it's not on the level of like these other JRPGs that we're playing, but definitely fun, kind of mindless fun. A lot of like
Mhm.
just the turn based. The music is very good too, and I like the
Sounds good.
characters.
Nice.
Um, but the thing that I've been spending the most time on the past week, I did dive into the Switch hacking. Remember last week I talked about how
Yeah,
I
you
wanted
did.
to do it, and I was so
Mhm.
nervous. I'm like, somebody reach out to me and tell me how to do it, and nobody reached out to me. Uh, not to anyone's surprise, but I did it, and it was not hard. It was very easy, the hacking part. And now I'm on the Animal Crossing part, and that part is a little bit harder. Which, Garrett, you were right. You told me that was going to be the hard
I
part, and I
told
didn't
you,
believe
right?
you. But I downloaded the program and I had an island that I had already somewhat started, but like I didn't get all the way to the part where like you have unlocked all the buildings and have all the villagers yet, and it didn't have like the KK concert where it's like you beat the game, like where you
Right,
see the
right.
credits for the first
Credits.
time.
Yeah, roll credits.
So I kind of made the mistake of like kind of jumping too far ahead. I gave myself all the villagers, I gave myself the museum, I gave myself the campsite, all these things. And like it kind of messed up my game a little bit because like Tom Nooks thought that I didn't build the campsite yet. So
Oh,
like
no.
he told me to build the campsite, and then like I had 2 campsites and then I had to get rid of one. And then like there's a point in the game where you have to invite a villager from the campsite to live with you.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I'll just have it override one of my villagers. So he moved in, but then the next day he was still in the campsite and he was also
no.
moved in on my island. And Tom Nook didn't recognize that he accepted the invitation. So it was all sorts of messed up. So I had to
Wow.
like go through a lot to try to fix this. And I'm not totally confident that it's fixed yet, but I'm getting there. It
Cool.
probably would have been quicker just to like play through that part of the game myself.
Yes. Definitely play through the ones that kind of requires everything, and then once you have everything like kind of
Yeah.
like baseline, then do
So
the
that's what I'm
hacking.
doing. I fixed all my
Okay.
mistakes. I got rid of all of these houses that I wasn't supposed to have yet. You have to like go into the code and like fix all these flags. Like,
Oh my goodness. Like legit
yeah.
like open notepad and like
Well,
erase
like
some
I didn't
lines.
feel like well, now that I'm saying this, I realized I could have just given myself 15 fish or bugs or whatever to donate. I was going to say I didn't feel like catching 15 things to like donate to open the museum, so I just went in and like changed the flags for the museum to be all the way updated. So like now I have everything in the museum. Brewster is there. Like it's all done. I have
Oh my
okay, listen, the
goodness.
most important part is that I made it so that I have all of the crafting recipes that like I can just make anything. I have unlimited materials to work with, unlimited bells to work with, and access to all of the items in the game. So once I like get through that KK slider part, I will give myself all the villagers that I want again. I've completely flattened the island. So once I unlock terraforming,
Nice.
then I'm ready to start the game.
All right then.
It's a lot of a headache, but you know what? It's going to be worth it. I already have plans for my new island. It's going to be
sound like
autumn
the
suburban
mastermind right now.
themed.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I've already
digging it.
saved lots of inspiration designs. I feel like this is getting me back into Animal Crossing, Garret. I feel like I have been on such a slump. This is my comfort game. I have lots of other games that I'm playing that I'm making progress in, but this is my one that like before bed I can play a little bit of. I've actually been playing Monochrome Order before bed, but once that's finished, this is going to be my bedtime. I'm just going to work on my new island, have unlimited access to everything, and just it's kind of like creative mode. Do you ever play like Minecraft on creative mode where like you have access to all the materials, you have access to whatever you want? It's like that.
That's pretty cool. And so you could just run wild and just like not waste time on the actual like, oh, let's try to get these menial tasks that you've done over and over again. You just have it right then and there and you're just ready to create. I wish
Because on my
Nintendo did
normal
something
save
like that.
file, exactly. On my normal save file, it's like, okay, well, I really want this item here. I can either like if I already have the item in my catalog, I have to order it or like order 5 of them and wait a day to get them, or I have to trade with somebody. This is like if I want like 10 of an item to decorate with, I can just put it in my game instantly.
Yeah.
So
and
it's creative mode. I've already played the game for 2 years. Like I haven't cheated for 2 years, so I
for
feel
hundreds
fine
of hours
cheating now. Exactly.
Yeah.
For more than that. I think I have like 500 hours in that game.
I don't think you're doing anything immoral with all this because you own the game. You have
own the
the
game.
Switch.
I did everything already. Now I'm just speeding up the process for a second island.
Yeah, sounds good. And then
I'm not cheating online.
Are you gonna do like extra like items that are like outside of?
I don't know yet. Like that part's more complicated because the whole like reason that like really not motivated, but like kind of got me interested in doing this was I saw somebody made custom villagers of the 3 new Pokemon starters. this Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
looked really good. And I'm like, I'm gonna hack my Switch and put those in my Animal Crossing game. I might do that if I can figure it out. I think I'm gonna start with the basics first. I don't want to like screw things up too much,
Mhm.
but like I don't want to go crazy with it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Cool. That sounds good.
But that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to, and I will continue to do that. I'm gonna finish Monochrome Order,
Cool.
and go from there.
Sounds good. I haven't been playing too much this past week. I threw out like a tweet like I think yesterday or something. I'm just kind of I don't know. I'm going all over the place with gaming, and I think it's just a mix of like I'm not really into a game versus like okay, I'm already on this game, but I don't know what other game I should go to in my backlog to like really enjoy a certain game or whatever. And I think partially because why I'm in this gaming rut and I think I'm gonna just stop is reviewing games. Like once I had this obligation of doing this, and I'm not saying they're not bad games. I don't want to say that. They're not. It's just I have very limited time and I would rather play other things. And I think that's just my main kind of like not issue, but just struggle right now, my conflict right now.
It's a really
Yeah.
different experience reviewing a game than playing it for enjoyment. A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I reviewed games years ago for a website called We the Nerdy, which was fun. It was good to like go through that experience or whatever. And that was written reviews, and it's not like if you get into a game, it's like okay, I think I'm gonna like this. It's kind of like in my jam, but if it's like really flat, if you don't like it, it's a huge time sink, and it's not fun. I do commend the people that
Mhm.
get they they're doing this for a living, right? They're reviewing games, and so on one side they're like they're very blessed to have that opportunity to play the games early and then like also write really good reviews or formal reviews or whatever. But at the flip side, I'm sure 90% of the time they are playing or reviewing games that they don't want to play or they don't want to play right now, right? Or they're doing like crunch or something like that.
Yeah.
um and so I'm not that, right? I have a job. I have a job that I enjoy too, and so I like to spend time with that, and I also like to spend time when I gaming. It's not reviewing games; it's playing my own games when I want to.
Mhm.
So I don't want this to deter the review that I'm doing right now. It's about to come out very soon, and so it'll be that. But other than that, um, I did reference that I was forcing Bloodborne into the tweet, and I think that was a little bit too exacerbated. I was having a good time with Bloodborne when I was playing it. It's just it's really hard with what I realized as a Soulsborne game. You really gotta play it densely, right? You can't
Yeah.
just skip a day or two and then just go back to it and get your
That's
butt
me in
handed to you.
Metroid. I can't skip a day when I'm playing a Metroid game.
Exactly. I mean, Metroid Dread is really the same deal as a Soulsborne game, not gonna
Mhm.
lie. Um, but actually last night I did beat my first Soulsborne boss, very first one. Um,
Nice.
which felt so good. And it wasn't even that hard because I grinded my way through that level. I
Okay.
understood that level. I opened doors. It felt so good to like explore everywhere in that level. And I know exactly where to go to in order to face the boss. So I
Mhm.
didn't even feel like a struggle when I was even facing him or that cleric beast or whatever. Um, I am really digging it. And I think I'm
Good.
just gonna like my free time off, like tomorrow, I'm gonna play a ton of that because I am having a really good time with it
That's
actually. And
awesome.
I want to play more of it for sure. Um Other than that, once I'm done with reviewing that game, I'm gonna go back to Shin Megami Tensei 5 for sure. And then I've also been putting back a little love on my PS Vita.
You
It's
are.
Yes. Been going to the office more, so I'm bringing it over. And been working out as well, and just like going on the bike and just playing on it. It's man, this device, it's so good because you got the library of Vita, you got PSP and PS Classics on it. Like, guys, when the store closes and it's the ability to buy games is approaching fast, get on it. Like, it used to be the way to get only Chrono Cross, like other than having a PS3 or PS2 or whatever. Now we're getting the Radical Dreamers edition, but there's many PS1 RPGs or PSP classic RPGs or other games that are on the Vita. Go get it. Go grab it.
Vita. You're the only person who's ever made me want to get a Vita.
And they're not that expensive on eBay. Like, I grabbed my my 2000 model for like $110 on eBay from Japan. It was an import from Japan, but it totally works. And the battery is so good. I did hack
How much battery life you get out of it?
Honestly, if I play every day for maybe like say 2 hours, 3 hours or whatever, I may need to charge it once a week.
Oh wow.
And that's still with the game on, and that's still with the game like the system on 24 hours. The
like
battery
in sleep
life
mode and stuff. Wow. Okay, that's good.
It's very good. It's very well optimized.
So it's better than the 3DS. You're saying
it's way better than a 3DS, and it's better than a Switch. It's better than the Switch battery life.
Sure.
And then the OLED version, I did hack mine, and I optimize it in a way where it extends the battery life, where it changes the OLED light gamma view and everything. The Vita hacking scene is so well established. Like, you thought Switch was easy. Vita is a cake and a walk. You just plug that thing into a computer, and then like you just let it fly.
The hacking does
do
itself.
Its The hacking
you said
does
you
itself,
imported
really.
it from Japan. It's not region locked or anything?
It's not region locked at all.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I got my 2000 model from Japan. The only difference is that the cross button and the circle button are flipped in a lot of functionality. In Japan, it used to be the circle button be the continue or the OK button, like the A button in Nintendo, but it's the other way around for the American version. So
that might come up if you're playing games and it has prompts. It might be flipped.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, anyways, that's what I've been doing so far. I will get back into the groove of something. I think it's Bloodborne. I will play a lot more this weekend. And then once I'm done with that game, go back to SMT5 because I really want to finish that one. And that's pretty much it.
I think the next thing I'll be playing is Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, because that comes out April 7th.
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
I put into my interest to review it. Whether or not that means we get an early code, I do not know, but I am so excited. I played the first like maybe third or so of that game, and then once then I got busy over the summer, and then when the rumblings of a remaster were popping up, I'm like, maybe I should wait. So it paid off. I know this might not be like as flashy as some people were hoping, but I'm excited. I think it looks beautiful to begin with. For like a PS1 game, like it already looked great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and they're just putting a fresh coat of paint. And then doing the typical Square Enix upgrades like fast forwarding, God mode.
Yeah.
And
then the Radical Dreamers text-based game that like was hardly anyone has played because it was never made available.
It was exclusively anywhere. I think I got it the Teleview. I think that's it.
Like that, yeah.
Exclusively in Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm excited.
Basically no one has played it in the US.
Basically nobody's played that. I'm very excited. That's like a little touch that they didn't have to do that I will be very excited about. I actually might do that first. I might do that if you can do it without beating the game. I might do that first. We'll see.
Sounds good.
All right, let's jump into this week's news in the Nintendo world. Nintendo finally and randomly announces a long-awaited feature. Folders. Do you know how many times that we we have been asked on this show, hey, when do you think Nintendo's adding folders? Do you think they should add folders? What's the most wanted feature that you want and why is it folders? Well, they randomly said, by the way, you can now make folders. They announced it on Twitter on Monday. The latest Switch update includes new features. They're called groups. They're not even calling them folders. I think they went out of their way to not call them folders because they called them groups.
Stupid.
Here's the thing. To make one, you have to have at least 12 software titles. They don't have to be games. You can do like Hulu, whatever. You go all the way and click all on the right of your home screen where you can view all of your software. You make a new group, and then you can put like, I think up to 100 games in each group. You could make like 200 groups. The thing is, and Garrett, I haven't made any of these groups yet. I don't know if you have, but I heard that the folders don't show up on the home screen, that you still have to go all the way to the software, view all software to even get to your groups, which I feel like unless you are Donnie Reese and you have hundreds and hundreds of games on your Switch, you might as well just like, it's probably faster to just click all software and find your game than to like look in the folders and groups for these.
Yeah, I have a 400 gigabyte at micro SD card in my Switch, which is like probably the third highest one you can get. You can pack in quite a bit of games, but if you have big games on that thing, it's not going to be a lot, to be quite honest with you. It's going to be less than 50, I would say, less than 50 games. So when I was making my group, and then I realized I had to go to all software, then to the groups menu. I'm like, are you serious right now, Nintendo? Are you making it that much harder on me to actually get to the thing that I want to navigate to instead of putting it on the freaking home screen? Yeah. But the thing is, what I'm playing recently is on the home screen. It's
already on the home screen, I know.
Why do I need this then? Other than just to organize my stuff in a library? Which
they're not going to be organized on your home screen anyway.
I just couldn't believe it. That legitimately made me want to hack my Switch. And when I made the groups and I realized that you have to go there, I'm like, no, I need to hack this thing and
adds
put
an
it
extra
on my
step
screen.
That's not necessary. I think if you could pin them to the top of your home screen or something like that. I don't know. It's so funny to me that they added this 5 years later and they still like screw it up.
How hard is it? Like, it's
I think
really
there's
some
hard. People that this is fine for. You know, if you have a lot of games and you really like that organization. But yeah, it doesn't help me. I don't really have any plans to make any of these folders or groups, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I made some because I like to organize my library just a little bit. What I've also noticed when I make a folder, I don't know when I'm picking from my like library or whatever if it's in another folder or not. So sometimes I pick and add games into a folder, and then I just forget like what did I add in there. And
because you can have the same game in multiple folders, right?
That's correct. And that's not bad. I just would like a little bit of feedback of, did I put this game into another folder? And that actually, from my mind, I would like to make the decision of, should I put it in two folders or not? And it depends on how I'm feeling. I like to organize my games how I'm feeling in terms of genre, in terms of, is it a priority or not? Is it indie or not? It doesn't give me that much feedback, so a little bit of fight with it.
I think the only folder that I might be interested in making is like an unfinished games folder where like you kind of like a backlog type of thing where maybe if I'm looking for something to play, I can open up that folder and have all of my choices right there without trying to think of like what is there for me to play that I haven't finished yet. It's just all right there for me to see. So maybe I'd do something like that, but like I don't really, it's not like the 3DS or Wii U where I feel the need to group certain games for the sake of like, being able to find them easier.
3DS had it beautifully. Like just folders just right there on your little square. You can just touch it and then pop up, and different views too. You can like make it smaller, bigger tiles. Like I don't know what happened with Nintendo UI development, but
It's so bad.
it just dropped off. And I think I'm kind of done with folders after that first wave of like organizing it. I'm like, I don't even want to make another folder to make sure all my games are in there. On Steam, you basically can see everything that's going on. You can figure out that game is in a certain folder or not. And I would like to what I like to do is put all my games into at least one folder. I don't I don't have that feedback from Nintendo Switch at all. So I'm just kind of done. I made a few folders and I'm done. So,
And you know what? It's a shame because for the most part, I do like the UI of the Switch. I like that it's very simple. I like that it's very it loads up fast. There's not a whole lot going on. Like the PS5 UI drives me insane. I can't stand it. There's so much going on. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know where my games are. I don't know how to get to things. I don't have that problem with the Switch because it's so simple, and I like that. But I think that they could have implemented something like this and kept it simple.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's so easy. Like if I learned what the platform programming is, I would do it for you, Nintendo. I would program folders for you.
People have done it. I literally
I'm sure.
I have my own custom theme on my new hacked Switch, and like you can make folders. And I don't have one because I don't have any other games on that yet, but you can, so it is possible. It's not like they can say, "Oh, we ran into difficulties," because guess what? There's not.
Yeah, there's not. So, anyways, all right, done ranting. All right, you guys can have your folders. I'm glad for the people who have literally thousands of games with a 2 terabyte micro SD card, but for everyone else, sure, they're folders.
Oh, jeez. I feel like I have more, I have so many physical games anyway that it doesn't really matter to me because, like, if I want to play Link's Awakening, I have to go find the cart to put it in anyway. So it's not like I have to find it somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of physical games as well. And it was kind of disappointing when I was seeing my Switch. I'm like, I know I have this game. Where do I have it physically. That's why. And it wasn't just on there. So.
Put all the physical games in a folder. You could. Moving on to the rumor mill. I don't know if you want to call this a rumor or it's a data mine. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe data mine reveals possible future DLC courses. So somebody found a banner that has a bunch of images of, like, it's along the track, and you can kind of make out in each image which course it's from. And so these, I assume they're speculating, are going to be future DLC courses in a future wave. The ones that people found are Sydney Sprint, LA Laps, and New York Minute from Mario Kart Tour, Koopa Cape and Maple Treeway from Mario Kart
Nice.
Wii. Yeah, I love Maple Treeway. Mario Circuit and Vanilla Lake from the Super Nintendo, and Rainbow Road, the 3DS version.
The best Rainbow Road, no doubt.
Is that the best Rainbow Road? Is that from Mario Kart 7?
Yes, Mario Kart 7, 3DS one. It is an absolute treat because it's
what's so
one
good
of
about
those.
That one?
It's not like you're not going around 3 times in a lap. It's one way, and you're just going all the way down. Yeah, they did really well with the gyro controls on that one. You have to be like you fly a lot in that course. That's by far my favorite Rainbow Road version.
I wonder if they're gonna do anything to spruce up the Super Nintendo ones. I know that they have like Donut Land or something already, and it's a little bit boring to me. I don't really like it too much. So I hope maybe they do something a little bit to spruce up, like Mario Circuit and Vanilla Lake. I love Maple Treeway. Besides Coconut Mall, that was like my favorite one from it might even be my favorite one from Mario Kart Wii. I feel like a lot of people keep being disappointed about how many tour courses there are. There's 3 of them on this list, but if they're anything like the ones that are in the first wave, I'm really excited for them because they are inspired. They are cool. I like that they're kind of based on real places. So we have the Paris one, Paris Promenade, I think it's called, that is in the first wave. You have like actually like the Eiffel Tower in it, and like the Arc de Triomphe in it and stuff. And so like I'm looking at these names, Sydney Sprint, like is the Sydney Opera House in it? Like probably. Like LA Laps, like there's going to be these landmarks, New York Minute, like you're probably going to see like, you know, different landmarks and stuff like that. I know people who played Tour probably know the answers to these questions, but I've never seen them. I'm excited to try them out.
Yeah, why are people so down with Tour? Like,
I don't know.
I think it's just the stigma of the mobile game, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Ew, it's coming from a mobile game." And I'm like, guys,
It must be lazy and cash grabby.
You're right. And it's like, guys, they're fitting it into Mario Kart 8. Like, it's gonna be fine. And it seems kind of cool actually, basing it off of cities like this. I wonder what they're gonna look like actually, especially New York Minute and LA Laps.
You're gonna like the Paris one. It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You like go under the Eiffel Tower. It's really
That's
awesome.
so cool. Yeah.
Cool. So we'll see. I would not be surprised if that data mine is real. There's no reason to doubt it. Kirby and the Forgotten Land releases tomorrow. Are you getting it, Garrett?
No, I'm not. I know. Donnie is very, very excited for it, and many other people are. It looks good, and I'm glad it got great reviews. But yeah, I'm not gonna get it.
It's sitting at an 84 on Metacritic, 85 on OpenCritic. Some common themes to reviews are that it's a great intro to 3D for the franchise. Very charming, very cute, lots of inventive mechanics. It doesn't revolutionize the 3D platforming genre, but they say it doesn't really need to. It kind of stands well on its own, and it is very well polished in terms of how it runs, how it looks. I am going to be very excited to watch people play this game. I think I will tune into some Twitch streams. I am not closed off to getting it at some point down the road. Maybe I rent this one from the library. Maybe I get it on a sale. You know me with, and I feel kind of bad because as soon as they announced this one, I'm like, I'm going to get this game. I'm going to get back in, I'm going to get into Kirby. This is going to be the one to do it. I just don't feel interested in playing it right now. I feel like I realized the other day, like, oh my gosh, it releases this Friday, and I did not care. I didn't feel any excitement. So I'm not going to like force myself to play this game. I will watch other people play it. If that excitement comes, I will go out and buy it. But I just, I don't know. I like Kirby as a character a lot. I really do. Just can't get myself excited for the game.
When you said library, it definitely sounds like a library game, like something to rent to play over a weekend or a couple weeks or whatever.
Even if I don't beat it, I'll get my enjoyment out of it.
Exactly. Like it sounds like one of those games for me as well. And that's why I'm looking up local libraries right now, and I definitely have quite a bit of libraries around me. So cool. Get
that library card, Garrett.
Exactly.
Definitely where you are. I'm sure that some of the libraries there will have games. Might be a wait list to get some of them, but I'm sure they will.
No joke. I took a picture of this, but on my commute to work, I passed by the Zynga headquarters.
Really?
Yeah. And if I walk just a little bit east of where I work, I go straight to the IGN headquarters. I go straight to all the gaming headquarters. Ubisoft San Francisco's there with their game store.
Wow.
I'm like in the heart of it.
You are.
So it's kind of crazy.
Get a job at one of those places.
Well, they definitely don't want me, but it's, for sure.
Of course they do.
That would be cool.
That's awesome.
But, yeah.
Or make friends with the people that work there, and they'll give you free games.
That is a good idea. I need to do social events. I'm like, hey, who do you work for? Oh, Ubisoft. Oh, cool. Hey, how's it going?
Want to hang out?
How's that new Mario plus Rabbids game going?
Yeah.
Sorry,
do it.
Anyways.
We got a trailer, right? Is that what it is? For Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, you take this one.
Okay, hold on. My music just came on because I just touched my headphones. Okay, that is going to happen. Basically, it was revealed at a PlayStation State of Play, like even like last week before we actually recorded the show, like that day. Hogwarts Legacy was announced, or not announced, but more gameplay was revealed, and we didn't know this until like much later. But it's like, hey guys, in the FAQ, they said it's coming to Nintendo Switch. Now, everyone out there is presuming, hey, it's going to be a native port. We're presuming it's a native port. And I'm reading these articles. I'm
Because
like,
they
why
didn't
are you?
say anything?
They did not say anything.
Okay.
Right. And the FAQ, they said it's coming out on Xbox One, Series S and X, Switch, PS4, PS5. And I'm like, guys, that could easily be a cloud port as well. Like,
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, that there's no way that game, when I was looking at it, that looked like a next gen game to me. I don't know why it's on PS4 and Xbox One other than like the development being super early, I guess, and planning for it. But it's gonna be an upcoming open world magical action RPG based off the Harry Potter world from WB Games Avalanche. The reason why I put this in here is just because it's coming on Switch, and most likely it's gonna be a cloud port. Just bet on it being a cloud port. Don't get it on Switch, please. I wouldn't say don't support cloud support or whatever. If play the demo, because there's a lot of demos out there with like Control and also Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're fine playing it like that, sure, buy the whole game, play it at home or whatever. But like, man, yeah, I don't know. The reason why I put this in here is that I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I am very, very excited for this game. Like when I was like a little bit interested when I saw the trailer, but after the state of play, Rebecca, this is my number one anticipated game coming out within like the
Wow.
next year. Yeah, no joke. It looks
Did
so
not
good.
watch the trailer. I do not intend to watch the trailer. I have nothing against Harry Potter as a franchise and world and work of art. I am not remarkably thrilled with its creator at this point in time, and I just cannot bring myself to support it at this time. But if you like Harry Potter and you're into it and you're interested in this game, I got nothing against that, but not for me at this time.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. She
But from what I've
has some
heard, it does
things.
not sound like it could natively run on the Switch.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I rewatched the Harry Potter movies like recently, right before I moved actually. Reinvigorated my hype for the game, and then I just saw this. It wasn't even a trailer, it was like 20 minutes of like this is exactly what you do. And it looks like they understand Harry Potter. And I'm just when a developer understands it, and they didn't flat out say they're like actually they may have announced that they're not even with talks or collaboration with the creator at all. I feel like J.K. Rowling built the foundation of Harry Potter, but these are the developers that are actually making the game, and I'm sure these are just people
I'm
making
sure
a
they
job
don't.
off of it. Yeah.
I'm not putting a penny into her pocket.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, for sure.
But I do like the world of Harry Potter, and I think that this is the game that Harry Potter has deserved for a very long time.
Definitely. I remember enjoying the previous Harry Potter games, the movie-based games. Harry Potter 2 was really good on the Xbox and other platforms. I played the Game Boy Color game, Harry Potter and
oh my
the
god, I've
Chamber
seen
of
that
Secrets.
one.
It is legit turn-based Final Fantasy like, and it's based on the books. It's so good.
Okay. Yeah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to mention that this is coming out on Switch, which
Yeah.
It should not be a native port.
Well, John 32 wrote in and said, "Is there any world in which I should be convinced to get the Hogwarts Legacy for Switch over PS5?" He says, "I like the idea of portable play. Will that be enough to overshadow the performance and graphical issues?" John, I think it's way too early to tell, especially if we don't know if it's going to be cloud-based or native port. I say wait until we get like an actual look at this running on both of those hardwares. And then make your decision. I don't know what to tell you.
It's either going to be a cloud port, or if it is a native port, they're going to delay it on release date and never mention it again. that's what's going to happen. Don't bet on a native port at all. Play it on PS5. Like play it on the newest thing. It's going to be much better than it's not going to play on Switch. When I was looking at the game, and like, it's impossible to see it on the Switch. So it's like PGA Tour for Donnie. It's like abysmal. Probably gameplay.
I saw several memes saying that this is how it's going to look on the Switch, and then a picture of like that really old PC game where like they look like very polygonal and like they look all stretched out and stuff like that.
Jules Santana said it correctly. Hagrid going to be looking like the PS1 Harry Potter game.
It is okay. PS1, yeah.
No joke. No joke.
Literally, yeah. All right, that's going to do it for our news. Pretty late this week, but as we said, I think things are starting to pick up here. We have some good Shaq questions directly from you. Zach writes in and says, "In the beginning, Nintendo's stance on the Switch UI was about keeping things simple, hence the absence of folders or themes. From a technical viewpoint, do folders really slow anything down? Why does the eShop run like garbage? And why isn't there more besides folders and groups?" Good question, Zach. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Because guess what? I hacked my Switch and I put in a theme and it has a fancy background. It does not it runs the same way. It does not take longer to boot up. It does not slow things down. It is totally fine. I think they don't need to make it like this fancy schmancy thing. Let us throw on a screenshot as our background. Like, let us have like fancy borders around our games or something. I don't know. They could do it. It doesn't slow anything down. The eShop runs like garbage because of how it's set up. It doesn't run like garbage. It's just how it's set up.
Yes.
There's no searching. There's no discoverability. They don't have more because they don't need to. They don't need to do it.
I feel like I don't know. I wouldn't say fire, but they greatly reduced their UI team efforts, or their UI efforts, into the Switch. And you can clearly tell that. And you can clearly tell they don't care. They're like, it's fine. They don't care. People will buy this. They don't need to. Yeah. And they'll buy it because of the games. And they're totally right. They're 100% correct, because you just see all the sales going on. It's like, it's not because
nobody
of the UI.
Looks at the Switch and says, I'm not going to get one because I can't have themes or folders.
Exactly. And that's why they don't do it. They don't waste their money on something trivial like this. Even though I'm honestly telling you, Rebecca, I think I could. If I given enough time, I think I could implement this in some form or fashion. And you said yourself, hacking it, it's just right then and there. It's right there. And they have the tools. Like, you see it on computers. You see it on their previous hardware. Like, they have the tools ready. They just are not they just don't care. I think they deliberately like don't care at all.
They don't. That's the truth. That's literally why. They do not care because they do not need to care.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. The eShop runs like garbage because the way it's set up, it is just a garbage setup. I think they could have done a much better way of going about searching in the eShop. But when they put 30 or 40 games a day in there, and you go to the great deal section, and of course the top games are like a 50
It's a
cents or a
1 cent
dollar.
game. Yeah.
No joke. It's a 1 cent game. They
Broken.
do
It's so
better on
broken.
their website. I
I
literally
know.
like click a link from Wario64 and go on their website. It's like, here's the Ubisoft, here's the overlay for Ubisoft, here's the games for
Mhm.
Ubisoft. I'm like, why don't you do this on your own
Mhm.
hardware?
I
It's
think the
beyond
Wii
me.
Gaming Shop was a lot like that, where it had, like,
Wow.
really good subsections for things like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
It begs
I'm
the question,
yeah.
though, why did they add these groups now?
I think it's the same thing with the Bluetooth as well. It's like these random features that come into the Nintendo Switch. I think they originally weren't going to do it. And then they saw the sales and the extension of this console or whatever. It's like, okay, I guess we'll give this to an intern and see if they can pull this off. And they're like, hey, we pulled it off. And it's like, all right, let's tweet it out. Let's put the update
Oh
in
my
there. And
god.
that's the end. I honestly, other than that, I don't know what's their motivation behind, other than like it's been so long that people, an increasingly amount of people are getting more and more games to organize their own library, and they finally just recognize that, and it's like, here's a
Mhm.
back way of going to put groups, but you have to navigate to all software in order to get there. So yeah.
Maybe they were sick of people begging for it, and they said, "Here, this will get you to shut up, but just to be petty about it, we're gonna make it, like, a minor inconvenience."
Yeah, I think that could be it as well. Other than that, they're just not gonna waste money.
Yeah.
I think that's their one deal, is like, it's the minimal amount. And you can obviously tell. They just put a random tweet out, here's an update, here's how you get to groups, and that's it.
Mhm. Man,
Thanks,
Nintendo.
Nintendo. You have great games though.
They have great games. Kyle the Pug wants to know, today marks the 19th year anniversary of the Wind Waker. Happy birthday, Wind Waker.
Yay.
What are some of your favorite... Man, next year's going to be 20 years since Wind Waker? Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. GameCube. Can you believe that? I still
No,
am
I
astonished
can't.
how old we are. Like, it's like, hey, 20 years ago, this happened. I'm like, no, it didn't. Shut up.
Kyle wants to
Anyway.
know, what are some of your favorite memories from this wonderful game? He says, for my experience, it was the combat mechanics, which made me want to jump into battle and fight more enemies, and the sailing from island to island. I love the Wind Waker. It has so much charm. I think it has the best combat of any Zelda game. I love that they give Link more of a personality. He has a family in this one. You never see
Mhm.
him really with a family. There's like very rarely he has like an uncle or a grandfather, but this one he has a sister that drives the plot. He has a grandmother who is freaking adorable. Oh, stop. Wind Waker HD is 9 years old? Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. 9 years old. Wow. 2013. Yeah. 2013.
I like the Wind Waker. I love the music. I think it has the best music of any Zelda game.
Hmm.
Uh, there are a lot of things I don't like about the Wind Waker, but there are a lot of things that I really like about it. And I think it's one of those games where I could just pick it up whenever and just really smile when playing it. So
Hmm.
I'm very happy. I love the Wind Waker. When's it coming to
My,
Switch? I saw Donnie tweet about it today.
I hope it comes out eventually. Yeah. Donnie tweeted out about it, and he's like, eventually. And I'm like, I don't know. My only experience with Wind Waker was when I went to my grandma, like 2014 or whatever. She has a Wii U. Like, I didn't even have a Wii U, but she bought one for herself, which is so cute. She loves Nintendo, and she loves Donkey Kong and SNES and stuff like that, and Zelda. And so she got herself a Wii U, And I remember visiting her before heading off to college. I was like, I can't understand this Zelda game. Like, I love the 2D ones, but I don't understand this one. Why don't you play it? And I'm like, sure, I'll play this one.
Aw.
And so I played it for like, I think the introduction, like it's like the first hour or whatever. It's like, here, this is what you do, grandma. Like this. And it's like, why is it so easy for you and not for me? Like, I don't understand. But that's pretty much my experience with Wind Waker, was that 1 hour with my grandma before I head off to college, like the second time or whatever. I really enjoyed what I played of it. And I would like to play it sometime.
That's got to be your next one after Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I definitely, after Majora's Mask is on my short list. Like, I think after my Vita craze, probably put that back in the back burner and then pull up the 3DS and just go ham on the Majora's Mask, because it was really good.
Pretty long. I would say it's a little bit too long. But there are not as many dungeons as there are in most Zelda games. I think this is an unpopular opinion. I don't like the dungeons in this game as much as I do in other Zelda games, but I think the rest of it really makes up for it. The end is a little bit tedious, but there's so many special moments in that game. I would say in general, I prefer, when you were talking about the very start, like the first hour of the game, in general, I prefer Zelda games where they just throw you into the action, where there's like, you're able to just start going. There's not a lot of tutorial. I think Wind Waker's that exception. I think that the very beginning, when you're on Outset Island and, you're learning about your island and your family and, what happens with your sister and everything, I can play that intro, over and over and not get tired of it.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice colors. I love the art style of this game.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, and the HD version is so beautiful. I think they did an awesome job with that. I think that's probably one of their, well, now that Skyward Sword's out, I'm not so sure, but I was gonna say their best like remaster of a Zelda game.
Yeah. Nice. I would definitely love it on Switch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That'd be good. This is a fun question. TPR wants to know, what inanimate object would you like to get implemented as Pokemon that hasn't already? I think the other week we talked about animals. This week we're talking about objects. He says something in the vein of Klefki, the keys, Chandelure, the chandelier, Vanillite, the ice cream cone, the different Rotom forms, etc.
I would love just a whole section of Pokemon of just gaming stuff. Just like consoles, controllers, just anything you get your hands on, put an eyes and a face and a mouth and arms, and you got yourself a Pokemon. I remember seeing this design of a PS4 controller and an Xbox One controller, like hugging or whatever. And I'm like, that looks like Pokemon. I would definitely play that. I would definitely like catch that Pokemon. Have their own type too, like a gaming type. That'd be legit. So
I did not think about this at all, and now I feel like I'm looking around my room to see like what there could be as an object.
That's what I was doing too.
I don't know. I'm not very fond of the item type, like the inanimate object type Pokemon. I don't think I've ever used any. Chandelure is cool, I guess. I don't like Klefki. I don't like Vanillite.
I don't like the inanimate objects as much.
Yeah, I like the animal ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Pokemon I put in my party. I don't think that was a inanimate object. Maybe no. Glalie is I don't know what Glalie is, to be honest with you. And
it's like a rock,
dark rock thing. Yeah, spirit or whatever. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure.
I don't know either. Objects. That's a really good question.
Yeah, what's with them that we just don't like?
Why am I like struggling to think of inanimate objects right now?
Well, I just think of the originals, like Voltorb, Yeah. That was a big one.
Pokeball. I don't know. Everything else, like I feel like at least like Klefki, like a set of keys. Like, that sounds lame, but like knowing the design, like it does look cool. I don't know.
But like, I don't go out of my way to get these Pokemon when they were
What
mentioning
about a book? And it can like open up and it has eyes, and then like maybe it like closes shut like as its mouth or something.
exactly like in Harry Potter. Yes. The
Oh,
monster
damn,
book.
that is a Harry Potter thing, isn't it?
It is. It totally is.
Okay, well, I guess that idea is taken. Oh my gosh.
Other than that, yeah, I don't catch these Pokemon TBR. I really don't. And I don't care for them. So there you go.
What about a pencil?
I would be down with a pencil.
A pencil Pokemon.
I'm trying to think of a design.
It can erase its enemies. It can stab its enemies. It's gonna be grass type because it's like made of wood, right?
Yeah, it's grass. Yeah, maybe grass
wood
and
is
fighting.
close to grass and fighting. Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Or no, grass and fighting. I like that.
Yeah.
Or rock because it has some mineral into it. You know.
Oh yeah, the lead. Yeah.
Not lead. No, we don't put lead in pencils anymore. That's not. Okay. Yeah. No, that's like
don't you put lead in like your mechanical pencils? Say I'm out of
lead. You say that, but it's definitely not lead. That would poison you. We don't put lead in. Guys, we don't put lead in pencils anymore. Okay. They've been banned for a very long time.
Speak for yourself.
It's graphite. Actually, I heard like a recent like huge story. Sorry, we're going on a huge tangent here, but huge story like a week ago that the people born between the 60s and 80s, like around that time, so our parents' generation kind of, they were exposed to lead more than like more than the recommended exposure and like EPA or whatever due to like products, gasoline and stuff like that, and dropped their IQ points. Literally dropped on average their IQ versus the previous generation. And
so scientifically, you're saying that we're smarter than our parents?
If we're not exposed to lead, then yes. That is
well,
correct.
You just said I use graphite in my pencils. I don't use lead.
Yeah, not lead. Yeah, if you had lead in your pencils, you would be dumber than your parents. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, now we have to incorporate graphite into the Pokemon's name. So it's this pencil Pokemon. It's grass rock, and it's called like yeah, something like that.
I like Graphite as like the smaller Pokemon.
The base one. Maybe it's like a little stubby pencil.
Maybe it's a little wooden one, and then it goes up. Maybe it goes to like a mechanical pencil, and it's steel and rock.
Ooh.
It's like a type of pencil.
Yeah. I like that. There we go.
TPR.
We got it, TPR. That's our Pokemon design. Some artist, go draw it. West 3DP wants to know, is it too late to buy 3DS games? He also wants to know, what is your must-buy for someone who didn't own a DS? No, it's not too late to buy a 3DS. In fact, this is the best time to buy a 3DS games.
Absolutely, yeah. Be careful with physical stuff, but yeah, digital, get on it. Like, get as much 3DS games as you can. I know the Fire Emblem games are getting a little bit more expensive and some of the offshoot stuff, but get a 3DS,
guys. You can get a refurbished 2DS online for like less than $100.
Get it. Like the Wedge 2DS is not bad. It actually feels good in the hands. That's the cheapest model. 2DS XL, really good. If you can get the new 3DS XL, perfect. So that's what I recommend.
I'm just laughing because people are coming up with really good names for our pencil Pokemon in chat. Doc Good says Graphidorax. And I like this one. I like graffiti. Griff Mendez says graffiti. He has feet and he kicks. So we have to make him part fighting type for that one.
Okay. We can make it
Speedy.
fighting in grass.
Perfect. I feel like I want to draw this. I'm not an artist, but I want to draw that now. Yes,
That's
West
awesome.
3DP. Get a 3DS. What is your must play games? Get Link Between Worlds if you haven't played it yet.
Link Between Worlds, Metroid, Samus Returns, Fire Emblem games, Pokemon games. Those are my recommendations. Yes.
Ghosties99 says, with a lot of games getting movies and TV shows, what Nintendo series would you most like to get a major new TV show? I have 2 answers.
I always go back to Star Fox. I don't know what's grabbing me. So every time there's like, hey, what do you want a crossover? Or what do you want a lore-based game? I'm like, Star Fox is it. Star Fox is it, guys. Like, they have it. They have the Animoid kind of weird kind of system going on. They have the villain. They have the society. They have the planets. They have sci-fi. It's perfect.
I could see it being like a more serious Futurama type show, like not funny like Futurama, but more structured where like every episode they go on like a different kind of mission or something. I can kind of picture it like that.
People in the chat said there's already an anime short. It's like, all right, I gotta check that out then.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
apparently.
See it. I think that 2 Nintendo franchises would work very well as a TV series. I think that an Animal Crossing slice of life anime would be fantastic. I think there's a lot of, cute characters to work with there. I have not seen the movie yet. It's on my list to watch soon with my Discord. Nice. But it worked really well for that, and I think that would make a very cute TV show. I also think that Earthbound would make a really awesome TV series following the adventures of the kids.
That would be cool.
A TV show. I know this is a little bit different than what we were thinking. I don't think either of those would work for like good movies, but I think those for like extended like TV series would be. I do not want Zelda to get a movie or TV series.
Absolutely
because
not.
They won't get it right. I am hesitant on Metroid getting a movie because I'm hesitant about them getting it right.
Yeah, especially with you see like video game based movies in that genre, like not being. Yeah, it's a hit. It's a very more missed than hit.
When are we going to see the first trailer for the Mario movie? It's supposed to come out in December.
Really? I don't know then. That's a good question. And that's with a bunch of famous actors, voice actors too, right? Yeah. Should be coming up soon then.
I liked the Kirby Right Back at Ya TV series from the 90s or early 2000s or whatever it was. It was very cute. That worked out well.
The Donkey Kong one was that was something. I remember watching that a lot too.
Some sort of drugs on that.
They were seriously on some drugs with that show. I remember watching that a lot though. I had it on VHS. I had it on tape.
Did you really? Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's no chance you still have that in like storage somewhere, is there?
Oh, maybe from my dad. It's probably in the attic somewhere. Goodness.
I love that. You gotta look for it someday. A couple more. Pete the Smiling Stegosaurus says, with Chrono Cross Remastered coming out in 2 weeks, do you think Square Enix plans to do a lot more with the Chrono series, similar to what they did with the Mana series? They did show the Mana series a lot of love with like lots of ports and remasters and collections and things like that. I got one of the collections. I didn't play it yet, but I sure hope so. I think the best case scenario would be, well, they remastered Chrono Cross. Just either port over Chrono Trigger or do one of those 2D HD type things with it. Would be, in my opinion, the best case scenario.
Yeah, isn't there only Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger? Is that correct?
Yeah, and then that little Radical Dreamers that we're getting.
Okay. So I can imagine Chrono Trigger having some sort of remake. 2D HD would be great. I don't want it to be like, completely revamped with the third person action stuff. Like,
Mm-mm.
don't do that. Don't mess up the formula that is Chrono Trigger. Just HD2D would be probably a good template.
Yeah.
I would like to
I
see
think
that.
the less they do with it, the better.
Yes. Yeah. You can especially see in a lot of level design in that game where it kind of needs like a height difference. There's a lot of
Mhm.
ladders. There's a lot of
Mhm.
obstacles. There's a lot of cool designs. It's just very hard to determine where to go
Yeah.
because of just the 2D design of it. So HD 2D is definitely my number one recommendation for the Chrono
Mhm.
Trigger.
I wonder if they're working on something like that, which is why, because I know Chrono Cross is so different. Like, you don't need to play them in order. If you've never played Chrono Trigger, you can play Chrono Cross. You don't need to have played Chrono Trigger. But I wonder if, obviously, a 2D HD 2D, whatever you call it, for Chrono Trigger would
Mhm.
take a lot more work than remastering Chrono Cross. So I wonder if maybe they're working on that and they put out Chrono Cross because that took less time to do for them. I don't
Mhm.
know.
So Square Enix and we I talked a lot about this with Ryan over the RPG Cave that they're like really fishing a lot of their old franchises right now. And you can obviously see it this year, not just with Chrono Cross, but with Alive Alive,
Mhm.
with Valkyrie Elysium. That was an old franchise that they just picked up. I wouldn't be surprised with Chrono Trigger being a really good treatment with it. And then a lot of other classic Square Enix franchises having various treatments, either the Chrono Cross like 2D remix, whatever, or the HD 2D type of treatment. So be excited, I guess.
Yeah, I like when they do that, and I think generally they do a good job. So I wouldn't mind because I missed out on a lot of these. Obviously, I think we all missed out on
Mhm.
live alive. I still, what, how was it called? Live alive, live alive.
I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. I say live alive, and that I just leave it as that. But
I think
I
that's
don't know.
right, but for some reason my brain wants me to say live alive because, like, semantically I think
Yeah,
that
that
makes
sounds
more
good.
sense.
Like, that
Like,
sounds good.
live alive. I don't know. I
But it
don't know if
says
that's right.
live a and then live or
Live. I
live
know.
a live.
Yeah, it's not
Wait, it's
alive.
Live.
Yeah.
Well, you can say I'm live, which is
Yeah.
Live as well. Oh crap! I
Live,
don't like
live,
this.
live, live, live. Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like a great game though.
It does. I'm very excited for it. But what I was
Mhm.
gonna say is, like, I haven't played it. I know a lot of people haven't played it. There's many
Yeah,
of these old JRPGs that I've never played, so I like when they give me modern ways to play them.
me too.
Finally, the Don Rob leaves us with, what was your favorite subject in grade school? You can go up to college
Mm,
if you feel like it.
yeah, I struggled in grade school. Did I tell you
You
that?
did?
Well, I wouldn't say struggle. I was a very middling student. Like I wasn't at the top or failing or anything. It's just nothing grabbed my interest in grade school that much.
When we say
Um,
grade school, are we talking about like K through 12 or just elementary? What do we mean by grade school?
K through 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah. What about you?
Um, Probably up until high school, my favorite was English because I was good at it. I come from a very long line of English teachers in the family, and by long line, I mean two. Um, so I had to be good at English. I had to be good at writing. I had to be good at that stuff. So that was, like, I think probably my favorite because it was easy for me. By the time I got to high school and I was taking, like, AP English, it was no longer easy for me because AP
Right.
English.
Right.
Um, then I really liked psychology in high school, which
Cool.
is why I majored in it in college.
Mhm.
I did not like math at all. I liked science up until high school, and then I had to take, like, chemistry and physics, and then I didn't like it
Yeah.
anymore. Um,
Yeah. I
I
was the
guess I liked
opposite.
social
Yeah.
studies. I didn't really like history that much. I like the other
Me
parts of social
neither.
studies.
I enjoyed my favorite subject was band because I was in the band, marching band.
Okay, I liked chorus. I took chorus in high school,
Cool.
so that was
There you
my
go.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
was in the AP math, AP physics type of courses. I enjoyed just like I was good at math and I was all right with science. So it's like, all right. And then I took engineering courses. That was my favorite as well. And that's why I majored in engineering. But I would say in college, my favorite course was one of my later courses. No, the latest course that I took my PhD, and that's machine learning.
Hmm.
I definitely learned a lot of programming and statistics that I need to do now. And so I wouldn't be here without that course,
Yeah,
for sure. So it's definitely it
that
was a
sounds
struggle for
interesting.
me. Yeah, it was a struggle for me because that was not my background. My background was engineering, chemistry, or whatever,
Mhm.
and then I was kind of like hopped into programming. And I'm like, oh goodness, what do I do? But they did a very good job at Carnegie Mellon to for non majors, like non denomination majors,
I'm
to
sure
get
that
into that
class was
subject.
no joke either. I'm sure that was really tough.
Yeah, yeah. But they did a very good job with like, hey, you have office hours, you have kind of like help online resources. Everything was online. It was actually during the pandemic, like the start of the pandemic
Oh
too.
my god, that's so stressful.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Luckily they did a hybrid already before the pandemic. They already had an online
Okay, so you were
section
kind of
and
prepared for it.
yeah, the class was prepared for it. The only thing that they had to do now is the teacher had to record from home and then we
Mm.
had to take the test online, which was all there. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite courses
My
in
first
college.
ever C in a class was in ninth grade geometry.
Ninth
And
grade
then,
geometry was a C. I got a
yeah,
C in geometry as well. I hated
man, it's
geometry
hard.
so much. I
Geometry
hated it.
sucked. It was like all
Yeah.
the theorems and postulates or whatever the heck, and you had to come up with like all these like, oh, I couldn't do it. And I didn't have a good teacher. I was so mad. I still have a grudge against her to this day for other reasons. Man, I could go on.
Hmm. My first C was well, other than maybe I just had some C's intermittently, but overall got a B minus in geometry. But I got my first like legit C. Foreign language course, no joke. It should have been easy, but
Oh, I
Amer
really like taking French in high school.
yeah, American Sign Language was my foreign language credit,
Really?
and I think I
Did you
just
get a
did
C in
not.
it?
Yeah, I wasn't motivated at all to learn it
And by
or
C,
to
I
do
mean I got it
anything.
like my first report card C. Like not like on
Yeah.
a test or anything. I got lots of
Oh,
C's on
okay.
tests.
No, that was like my final. That was like my
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
yeah. Like
see.
a report, like my report
Yeah.
card. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How
Yeah,
do
I
you
don't
get
know.
a C in sign language?
Just- I did not care to study for it. Like,
I was good
I
at
don't know.
languages. I liked those. I liked French. I took French, Spanish. I took an Arabic
Wow.
course over the summer in high school.
Wow.
And then I took sign language for a semester, not for credit, just like I paid for it because it was fun in college.
Cool.
And
Nice.
I thought that I was going to stick with it, and then I did not.
That's fine.
I wish I did.
It's really cool. I very much respect that course. It's not that like I don't
Yeah,
care about it and the
it's
culture
hard.
behind the deaf community. It's just I don't know, no motivation to learn a language,
Yeah, yeah.
especially American Sign
I
Language.
get it. I get it. I get it. All right. I liked that question to end it on. Thank you, Don Rob.
Yeah.
And that is going to do it for this week in Nintendo. I know a lot of people have been asking, where's Elaine? Can we get an update on Elaine? When's Elaine coming back? We've been talking to her. The latest is that she is finishing up I think she said is tomorrow when her work
Yeah.
project is launching,
Yeah.
something like that. So fingers crossed it all goes smoothly
Fingers
for
crossed.
her, and she is
Yeah.
planning to be back with us next time.
Yes.
So,
Can't wait to talk with her.
she knows that everyone's been asking. She knows that she reads your comments. She's still on Twitter. You can tweet at her. She'll see it. But yeah, we will see what she's been up to, and we will maybe talk about Kirby next week. I know we won't be playing it, but we'll be able to hear the experiences and maybe some people who have been. So
yeah,
let us know what you think if you're playing it. And my birthday is on Sunday, so I'm just going to do a quick shout out. If anybody wants to drop by, I'm going to be doing a birthday celebration stream on Sunday.
Nice.
So if you're around and you want to come hang out and celebrate with me, come by my stream on Sunday. It'll
Happy
be very,
birthday.
very chill. Thank you. And we will see you next week, Koopalings. Good night.
Bye-bye.